Hello and welcome to the Mortgage Expert. Today I want to speak about something I've spoken about before, picking a lender and questions to ask. Reputable lenders will find out more about you before throwing out any type of loan options. You wouldn't expect a doctor to suggest surgery before she assessed your medical situation, would you? Choose a lender who gathers enough information from you before they suggest a certain type of a loan. Don't be afraid to ask a lender to explain these pros and cons about what the interest rate is and the annual percentage rate. As we know, that's a true indication of the cost of the loan. That annual percentage rate is derived by a complex calculation that includes the interest rate. It takes all the other related fees, divides by the loan terms. However, bear in mind that some lenders do not compute APRs correctly. There's no way to accurately compute an APR for an adjustable rate loan, for instance. An APR, or annual percentage rate, does not account for early payoffs. If your interest rate is adjustable, you need to ask about its adjustment frequency, the maximum adjustment, the highest rate, which is the cap, the index, the margin. On top of that, there's a lot of other factors. I always suggest a fixed rate loan. Also, please ask about origination fees and discount points. Each point is equal to 1% of the loan amount. Therefore, 2 points on a $100,000 loan is $2,000. Sometimes lenders charge this in addition to points. They also have your buy down, which is the interest rate, meaning the more points you pay, the lower the interest rate you can gather. Points, they're tax deductible, even if the seller pays some or all of those points. And the next question I want to ask is, what are all the costs? All the costs of a loan include not only fees that go into the lender's pocket, which sometimes is minimal, but also third-party related vendor fees, such as an appraisal, a credit report, a lender's title policy, pest inspection report, escrows where applicable, recording fees, taxes. An estimate of these fees constitutes the good faith estimate, or it's known as GFE, which the lender is required by law to give you within 3 days of your application. Now, will the lender guarantee the GFE? Well, according to the Real Estate Settlement and Procedures Act, which is RESPA, the lenders have 3 days after you've applied for this loan to give you that good faith estimate. It has to contain all the costs of your loan. Points to consider on that: since lenders are not required to guarantee GFEs, this document is worth about the cost of the paper it's printed on. However, there's a lot of pressure on lenders by consumers to guarantee their GFEs. So if your lender refuses to stand behind that estimate, go elsewhere. Do you offer loan rate locks? That's a great question to ask. Interest rates fluctuate and change daily. If you have reason to believe that interest rates are moving up, you might want to lock your loan in. Lenders typically charge 0 to 1 point to lock a loan in. Depends on the amount of time you're looking to lock it for. It also affects your rate. Ask your lender, do you charge a fee to lock my interest rate? Does the lock-in protect all the loan costs? How long is my rate locked in for? Will you give me the loan lock in writing? I recommend getting the loan lock in writing. Next thing you're going to want to ask them is, how much time do you need to fund? Average loan processing time periods fall between 21 to 45 days. To properly write a purchase contract, you'll need to include a closing date, and that should be coordinated with your lender. So at that point, you want to find out, what is your anticipated turnaround time from your lender? What obstacles could possibly hold up a closing after seeing all your documents? How long after final application approval will the loan fund? Do you guarantee on-time closings? A big issue in closing a transaction on time is key and essential for the seller, the buyer, the attorneys. Everybody needs to be in sync. That date's generally subject to the lender's ability to close on time. If the lender cannot close on time, that can mean extra costs or problems for the buyer, such as an increase in interest rate if the lock expires, additional expenses to pay movers, to reschedule, loss of a home if the buyer's rental lease is over. I know I went through that kind of quick, so call me if you have any questions. 718-869-4795. And remember, this is one of your biggest purchases you'll ever make in your life. So take it seriously and ask the right questions, and more importantly, get the right answers. I'll share some of those answers with you on my next video. This is Sal. Have a great week and be very productive. Take care.